Welcome back, everyone. Today's video brings together powerful moments from nature, lightning strikes, landslides, floods, and sudden storms that remind us how quickly conditions can change. Each scene offers a valuable look at the forces shaping our world. Let's get started. Flying debris spun through the air during a windstorm, a vivid reminder of how dangerous severe weather can become in seconds. A sturdy bridge in Yellowstone National Park was swept away by floodwaters almost instantly, a striking reminder that even strong structures can yield to nature.
Holy, I missed it by a half. Oh my gosh.
I said it was gonna happen.
Oh my God.
Have you ever witnessed nature at its most intense? Sometimes a single lightning strike is enough to change everything in an instant. Southern California was overwhelmed by mud flows as earth and debris swept through neighborhoods, turning familiar streets into rivers of mud. Cameras captured mud and rock roaring down the slopes of Illhorn Mountain, a clear sign of how unstable terrain becomes after heavy rainfall. The Palm Springs aerial tramway suffered severe damage when flash floods swept through the area, forcing operations to halt amid a scene of debris and mud. In an alpine town in Italy, a sudden landslide sent pedestrians running for safety, a powerful reminder never to underestimate natural forces. A sudden dust storm swept through a cultural festival in Brittany, briefly plunging the event into confusion. Vanuatu shook violently as an earthquake rattled the island walls. Cracked furniture toppled, and people rushed outside as the ground moved beneath them. Lightning struck a home in Denver with such force that the entire neighborhood lit up, a startling moment for everyone who witnessed it. Flooding from rapid ice melt caused serious damage to communities along the Yukon River in Alaska, a clear sign of how global climate change is reshaping local environments. Near the Rocky Mountains in Canada, hikers watched an avalanche cascade down the mountainside, a reminder to stay prepared and alert in the backcountry.
Alucinante. Vita, güey. Vito! Vito! Nick, how windy.
Tornadoes can form quickly and cause devastating damage, as seen here where a truck was flipped over in a matter of seconds. Traffic cameras in Kathmandu captured the frightening moment. An unexpected earthquake shook the city, sending people scrambling for stability. A large tree exploded during a thunderstorm in Morgan City, a vivid display of how much energy a lightning strike can unleash. A violent debris flow swept through the mountain village of Grugne in Chemosen, Switzerland, transforming a peaceful community into a landscape of destruction within moments.
Whoa!
On Valuna Raju in Peru, a routine rescue training exercise turned into a real emergency when a large section of glacier suddenly fractured. Nature has a way of testing readiness without warning. In Watoma, a sudden lightning strike uprooted a pine tree right before witnesses' eyes, far too fast to react and unforgettable to watch. A gardener in Florida narrowly avoided a lightning strike that hit just a few steps away, a heart-stopping moment in the middle of an ordinary day. Highway 95 came to a complete standstill between Riggins and New Meadows when a landslide swept across the roadway, a dramatic display of nature's force.
Come. Jesus.
Oh my gosh.
A strong earthquake in Mexico sent water rolling and boats swaying, leaving people clinging to one another as the ground continued to tremble.
Recording this, right?
Oh, oh my god! On 1985 day.
Yeah, but yeah, that's the crazy thing. That is why I'm amazed.
This is the most interesting thing that's happened.
This is the odds.
I was like, what the
A powerful tornado left everyone on edge. Have you ever experienced one yourself? Share your story below. In the Philippines, a historic bell tower shook violently and collapsed during an earthquake, sending witnesses running as the structure gave way. Lightning struck the open ocean with tremendous force, as if the sky were releasing all its energy onto the sea below. In Manawatu, New Zealand, a bridge sustained major damage after a massive buildup of branches and debris collected during rising floodwaters, a reminder that even strong structures can be challenged overnight by nature. A sudden landslide covered an entire roadway in Southern California as Tropical Storm Hilary swept through, bringing travel in the area to an immediate standstill. A tornado in the suburbs of New Orleans snapped power lines, causing outages and disruptions across the community. Even a single flash of lightning can make the camera shake. Nature always finds ways to remind us of its raw power. Rushing water on the Mariquina River forced barges and boats into each other, shaking a nearby bridge under the strength of the current. Visitors stood in awe as enormous slabs of ice calved from the Perito Moreno Glacier in Argentina, a spectacular display of nature's scale and beauty. During what began as a routine training session, firefighters suddenly found themselves facing a rising fire whirl, a rare and dangerous phenomenon. This car was swept off Highway 24 by fast-moving mud flows from the Waldo Canyon burn scar, a reminder to take flash flood alerts seriously.
Look at that!
A massive sandstone cliff at Pictured Rocks National Lakeshore then collapsed into Lake Superior, sending waves rolling across the water and leaving onlookers breathless.
Back it up, back it up, back it up. Dan, can you back us up, please?
Yeah.
In an instant, a powerful windstorm ripped the roof off an olive oil factory in Greece, a striking example of how intense weather can overwhelm structures. A lightning bolt struck the ground just a few meters from the front door, a startling reminder of how close nature's power can come in an instant. Hikers in Alaska watched a massive sheet of ice crack and fall away, a breathtaking sight, and a quiet warning about a changing landscape.
Oh. Oh. Oh my.
In Tampa, lightning hit a moving car, yet everyone inside was unharmed, another example of nature's beauty and unpredictability. Dashcam footage captured a destructive tornado sweeping through Gaylord, or a powerful reminder of the force contained in rotating storms. Under a bright, cloudless sky near Tampa, lightning suddenly struck a tree proof that storms can form and strike long before the weather was threatening. In Delhi, an entire building collapsed into fast-moving floodwaters, showing how rising currents can overcome even large structures. On Lake Powell, a couple witnessed a giant cliff face break away and crash into the water, an unforgettable mix of beauty and danger. Flames and strong winds combined to create a dust whirl filled with tumbleweeds captured on camera by firefighter Thomas Rogers in Colorado. Office lights swayed sharply as a strong earthquake shook Mexico City, a sobering reminder of the immense energy released during seismic events. A tractor-trailer slid off course on a slick roadway and narrowly missed a police officer who stepped aside at the last possible second, a clear warning about the risks of wet roads and heavy trucks. Lightning should never be taken lightly, especially near tall trees. Even a moment of inattention can lead to serious consequences. The ground seemed to melt away as rocks and debris rushed through Ilgraben, a powerful reminder of how quickly the landscape can shift. Snow cascaded down the mountainside near Chigit, Russia, yet the resort below remained untouched, a thin line separating safety from disaster.
Pas sûr qu'on ait ski aujourd'hui.
A rare firenado formed over remote Tennant Creek, pulling flames upward in a dramatic and dangerous swirl. Within seconds, a strong earthquake turned a busy shopping area into a scene of confusion and fear. On an icy Ohio highway, a sliding vehicle veered toward an officer and he stepped aside just in time. A close call that shows how deceptive frozen pavement can be. A brilliant fireworks celebration paused in shock as a bolt of lightning split the sky, nature reclaiming the spotlight. On an icy slope in Austin, a car slid downhill. As the driver shouted in surprise, tense in the moment, yet almost like a scene from a winter action film. Intense lightning strikes flashed over a parking lot in Ecuador. Thankfully, no one was nearby during the display. In Atami, a massive landslide surged through the city like a waterfall of earth, overwhelming streets within seconds, a devastating and unexpected event. Heavy rain in Burbank, California triggered a major landslide, sending a car sliding down the hillside in moments. A powerful landslide in northern India caused part of a building to collapse, a reminder to stay vigilant in steep mountainous regions. In Bowling Springs, South Carolina, a suspected tornado tore through a backyard, lifting a trampoline, furniture, and even a wooden fence, an impressive display of wind strength. A sharp crack sounded before a section of wall collapsed in Malaysia, where a recent earthquake had weakened the building.
Gitme. Sallanıyor abi, sallanıyor, gitme. Sallanıyor.
After intense shaking, cars and debris drifted across the flooded streets of Fukushima, a stark reminder of how quickly natural forces can reshape a city. Mountaineers in France watched in disbelief as a landslide roared down the slope before them, a humbling display of nature's power. A whirlwind made entirely of tumbleweeds spun across the landscape, a strange and almost cinematic sight on the open plains. As the ground shook in California, store shelves rattled and goods tumbled off a familiar scene during strong seismic activity. As the climate changes places once thought stable are becoming more fragile, each natural event now carries its own message of caution. A dashboard camera captured a vehicle slipping off a mountain road and rolling downhill with the driver leaping clear. At the last moment, a clear warning about icy, narrow roads. When nature unleashes its force, nothing stands in the way. A lightning bolt struck a flagpole in Oklahoma, sending a shock through the ground instantly. A powerful flood near Yellowstone swept an entire house off its foundation and carried it into the river, a stunning display of how forceful moving water can be.
So sad. And he goes, you missed it.
In Kinnar, a rush of mud and rock thundered down the mountainside, clearing everything in its path, the landscape straining under nature's immense pressure.
614 debris.
Sycamore faced a fast-forming funnel cloud that lifted debris into the air, as tornado warnings sounded a dramatic clash between people and the elements.
Oh no.
Их это трясет как гулята.
Amid strong shaking in Kamchatka, medical workers held tightly onto their patients, protecting them with calm determination during the quake. A truck began sliding backward down an icy hill, gaining speed by the second, a tense reminder that once traction is lost, control can vanish almost instantly. A sudden blast echoed as a lightning strike hit a tree captured on a home security camera and lighting up the area like midday. A mobile home was swept away when fast-rising floodwaters rushed into Ruidoso, a clear reminder to secure structures well before severe weather. After intense winter storms, Fresno faced widespread flooding and landslides, leaving major roads blocked by heavy flows of mud and debris. A building in western Turkey collapsed after a powerful earthquake, sending dust billowing into the air and leaving bystanders shouting for help. An SUV slid across an icy driveway and nearly struck a woman on the porch, a serious warning about winter road conditions and lost control.
Are y'all okay?
Floodwaters carried away a burning home in White Sulphur Springs, West Virginia, a chaotic and frightening moment as fire and flooding collided.
Okay. Bridge off, no electricity.
Dad, watch out!
Just hours after heavy snowfall, a massive avalanche swept across 10 Mile Canyon in Colorado, covering the roadway in a wave of white. Debris scattered across South Texas as a tornado raced over the highway, leaving behind a scene of widespread damage in mere moments. Watch as Israel's Zin River comes alive in this remarkable piece of nature footage, a vivid reminder of how quickly water can reshape the landscape. Rock and soil thundered down the slopes of Papamoa Hills, creating a dramatic landslide in New Zealand's wild terrain, a clear sign of how unstable steep ground can become after heavy rain. A white SUV slid on a slick winter road and struck a utility pole, a lighthearted moment on camera, but an important reminder to slow down when conditions turn icy. In an instant, a coastal home in North Carolina was swept away by powerful floodwaters, a heartbreaking reminder of how vulnerable shoreline communities can be. A A rare fire whirl rose into the air in Rote National Forest as firefighters battled an active blaze, a dangerous and extraordinary phenomenon driven by intense heat and swirling winds. Thank you for watching. These moments show why awareness and preparation matter whenever weather turns severe. If you enjoyed today's documentary-style collection, feel free to like and subscribe. Stay safe, stay informed, and we'll see you next time.